And we are rolling on December 5th, 2017, where we are doing our final exam impromptu topics. And we're going to see Mr. Steve Kim. Now, where are your did you give them to me? They're here. They're underneath. Okay, are they in order?
Yeah.
Oh, good thing. Okay, good. Okay, yes. Yeah, okay, well, Steve got some softballs here. He lucked out. So, yeah, he got some easy ones, so I'll have to go extra hard on him. What the hell? This isn't in order.
It is. It's Think Small, Diamond, and...
Yeah, thanks, Mom. Okay, there's Volkswagen. Okay, there's Volkswagen. Okay, good. And where's the diamond?
Page after that.
Okay, this is number 2. Oh, you did 2 pages of each. Very impressive. Okay, Mr. Steve. Mr. Steve, I'd like to hear you, of all the 3 topics you've chosen and were assigned, I'd like to hear you enumerate on number 2. This is a quote from the De Beers ad, which says, "A diamond is forever."
Okay.
A diamond is forever.
Okay. Why live if not you were to challenge yourself? This is the question that Conor McGregor asked in a press interview. I'm here to address the quote, "A diamond is forever" by De Beers. A diamond is formed under immense pressure and therefore is quite precious and is very sturdy. It's almost impossible to break due to the strong molecular bonds. This quote is very important because it relates to all of us. The immense pressure that each diamond experiences to form should be symbolic of our lives. We need to constantly challenge ourselves to have that pressure so that at the end of the day, we can leave a jewel. So the 3 examples that I will give is it's a poem by Robert Frost, "The Road Not Taken," and the second is "The Uprisings of a Soccer Superstar," and the third is "The Training of Navy SEAL." So the first example is the poem by Robert Frost. He says, "Travel to the road that is taking less." The courage, the bravery to say yes when everyone else says no is an essential character to have, essential virtue to acquire. That is because if you stick true to your heart and stick true to your creativity, you will not regret not doing it, by inaction. I am not saying taking a road that is taking less will first bring you success. I'm sure and I know that there will be many failures. However, it is these failures that will teach you a lifelong lesson, and these lessons that you've learned will last until your death, like a jewel, like the diamond that will last forever. The second example is the uprising of soccer superstar Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo was born in Madeira, Portugal, into an impoverished family. He was bullied because he was so poor, and he was made fun of by his teachers for his accent and his lack of money. He also had a heart condition where his resting heart rate was too high. Therefore, he was exhausted way too quickly, jeopardizing his career. Despite this, he worked hard. He was recruited by Manchester United and eventually moved on to Real Madrid. He won 4 times. He was awarded 4 times with the Best Player of the Year award. He won 3 Champions League titles and many more accolades. And he's now the most charitable athlete in the world. His legacy from an impoverished family will live on forever, like the diamond that was once formed will be forever. So the third example is the training of Navy SEAL. Obviously, as a specialized military force in the most powerful country in the world, the training is very difficult. The SEAL trainees are made to swim 5.5 miles in the cold ocean, despite all the hazards like sharks, hunger, cramps, coolness, to get ready for a battle. Furthermore, there's a week called Hell Week, where they are made to stay in the mud pit for almost 24 hours. Without these hardships, Navy SEAL that eliminated Osama bin Laden could have never been. These trainings, these pressure, forged these soldiers to be the Navy SEAL soldiers that we know of today. So in summary, I provided with 3 examples: a poem by Robert Frost, uprisings of Cristiano Ronaldo, and training of Navy SEAL. Life is, I'm sure there will be difficult moments in life, and I ask you, so therefore I ask you to constantly challenge yourself. Challenge yourself and take the road that is less taken, so that at the end of the day, when you look back, you will have left a jewel that is forever, a diamond that is forever.
Okay, thank you. What did you like? Insia?
Hi, I'm Insia.
You saw Insia. I'm going to excuse myself for a minute.
I like the fact that you use different examples, so not just like from someone who's famous, but like it was just a varied spectrum of examples, so it was interesting to see it that way. I also like the fact that I could sense that you were a bit nervous,
Yeah.
but you didn't, like that didn't stop you from like still continuing with what you were saying. So you still remembered all your points and you still like connected all your material to the audience, which was really cool.
That's a good point. Keep giving them feedback for 1 more minute.
I think
I mean, you don't have to, like.
I don't know which one it's supposed to go.
Bro, no way.
Does that seem true? It says that there's no.
Can you change your same example?
I just already clicked it. There's no group. There's why didn't you choose it?
No,
But you did the
got
wrong
3
place.
different outlines.
Yeah, you're wrong.
You got 3 different outlines. One of those 3 might say 6.
It shouldn't matter. I mean,
There's no way this line. I never read this. Don't worry about it.
I don't think that's the point.
That's some extra credit.
She
has some reserves going here.
But at least you didn't use your note cards.
But does he weigh all the points like evenly or?
The class is curved.
Is it really? How's it curved?
Is he curved up or down?
What does that mean?
So that means I'll get an
Wait,
A.
so everyone's getting an
Hell yeah!
Thank you.
Bro, if I get a B, I'm a kid.
What a color.
I want to call my last name a lot too.
Bro,
yeah, I'm not just like a I'm go and stand up and go and just like
We should have like a parliamentary debate.
as long as I get
you should just sit down.
What? I don't know what to do.
Everybody. Oh, wait. Yeah, this is still recording. Guys, this is still recording.
I'm still recording.
This is my favorite professor of all time. I think you did a great job.
Dude, Dude.
That was the worst moment ever.
Could you stand in the power pose?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Arms out more. Double flex me.
You were doing like this.
I literally did that. This is all on camera.
Push-ups right out.
I trust her to talk about the camera. Everybody's just talking.
What time is it?
He told you otherwise.
It's for sure.
I'm going to. So one of the questions I have to learn how to do it. Oh, you did? Yeah. You have to remember that. Like, without really. And that's so sad. I wanted to take another class. I'm still pissed. That's not just I took it last year. It's so bad.
So, did you get copious feedback, or did it degenerate into chaos? Yeah.
I was okay. Never mind.
Okay, Mr. Kelvin.
I was scared.
Quickly.
I was supposed to give. Okay. Okay. No. Okay. So let me give good.
Quickly.
Okay. Really quick.
Oh, who's on deck, by the way? Be walking to the front, please. Yeah.
Totally disregard. Just a general
In order.
point. Just like concise it a little more and impact
Quiet,
it
go
out,
up there.
so that you're connecting that. You're spending more time connecting Cristiano Ronaldo than just like talking about what he did, because it's almost like you gave a biography. So yeah, that was my main thing. I'm just obviously trying to tie each point a little better, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. What I want to say is you started with a quote from Conor McGregor, the first fighter, and I was looking for a real vivid McGregor feedback of the fighter, and I wish I had a better one than I got. The De Beer, a diamond is forever. It means a lot of different things. It's an advertising slogan for to give a gift to a woman. It means something in the political circles when there's the terrorists that use the diamonds to. They're forever being used to finance terrorist activities and so forth. You chose to take the road not taken, the soccer superstar and the trading of Navy SEALs, and your catch in every one of these is, long when it's all over, they're gonna remember this. This was your big catch, and I think I agree with Calvin a little bit. That could have been better fleshed out and done, but I appreciate that you didn't use notes, and so that was impressive. There was a lot of material that you presented, and I like the fact, I want to end on a compliment, that you chose from some real diverse examples. So I love Robert Frost, I love The Road Less Traveled, I love people that can quote poetry, can quote Navy SEALs and, something else, and just not just, examples that come from their life or something. So, Steve, good job. What was the time? 4:41. Very nice. Okay, rock and roll, ma'am.
Which topic?
Anyone you want. You're Sumac, is that you?
Okay, my name is Samara. It's not
Sumana, not Sumac. Sumana Knock. Sumana AK. I have to.
Armand! You're alive! What timing?
I hope you'll be able to do it after 4.
Yeah, that's
We're
fine.
out of time. Oh my lord. These people. Okay, Suman, yes, okay, yeah, okay, these are interesting, quotes. Shh, quiet, please. Okay, Suman, she pulled up 3 softballs, but I'm inclined to want to hear from what women want. The Nike quote, just do it.
Hey guys, my name is Simona.
Hi, Sumana.
So today morning I had a really difficult decision, and I knew it was going to determine my future, especially in the upcoming 2 weeks. It was, do I go to my 8 a.m.? Now, keep in mind that since week 2, my attendance in this class has been abysmal, but I woke up and there was this little voice in my head, just do it, just go. Like maybe you learn something that will save your grade. So I got up, I went to class, and he was already reviewing material for the final, and it was a lost cause. But hey, I went, and I feel good about it. This quote of just do it is an amazing marketing campaign from Nike, and I think the mindset of just going for it in your life will really improve your mindset and how you feel about your decisions. And in order to illustrate this, I'm going to go and give 3 examples. My first one is going to be a personal example of training as an athlete growing up. My second example is going to be about politics and executive actions. And then my third example is going to be about J.K. Rowling, who is one of my favorite authors. So growing up, since the age of 5, I trained as a competitive roller figure skater. And my freshman year in high school, I hit a pretty big roadblock. I got misdiagnosed with cancer and was in the hospital for 3 months. And this was right before competition season in the summer. And once my health got a little bit better, I had to make the important decision of would I go back to training. And my parents didn't want me to train. Obviously, that's understandable. And even my doctor said maybe you should take the summer off. But once again, there was that little voice in the back of my head that this is my year. I should just do it. So I lied to my coach, and I told her I was good to go and that I was ready to train. And within 2 weeks, I had trained for regionals. I won 3 events, went to nationals, and won 2 events. And it was kind of a magical experience that just because I went for it, it ended up working out. And I strongly believe that when you have pivotal decisions in your life, you have nothing to lose. Your life will stay the same, so why not just go for it? The second example that I wanted to discuss had to do with politics. Sometimes politicians have to make very difficult decisions, especially when the political climate isn't in their favor. This happened with John F. Kennedy when he had to make a decision regarding affirmative action policies. And he ended up passing an executive action to put in affirmative action policies, and especially because there were a lot of people on both sides of the argument, he had to take that leap and just do it. And to this day, this policy is helping many people in this country have equal opportunity. Sure, it's debatable, but at the end of the day, it had to come down to a politician sitting down at a table and going, I'm going to do this for the betterment because it is a policy that I truly believe in. The third example I'm going to discuss has to do with my favorite author, J.K. Rowling. She went through a lot of hardships, especially as a single mother, someone who had not gone through true formal writing training, living off of food stamps. and coming out of an abusive relationship, she basically had nothing going for her. And she was sitting in a train with her daughter sleeping on her lap, and she thought of Hogwarts Express and immediately started scribbling down the beginnings of Harry Potter on a napkin. She just went for it. She did it regardless of what was going in her favor or what was not going in her favor. But that wasn't the end of her story. When she finished the book, she submitted it to publishers and got rejected by over 20 publishers. But she sat down at the table and thought, maybe I'll go for it and submit to one more publisher. And this was a publisher that clicked, and after publishing the series of books, she ended up becoming the first self-made author to make $1 billion. So, at the end of the day, I strongly believe that just doing what you want will make your life that much better, and you will see much better outcomes. I talked about a personal example in terms of me training to be an athlete. Then I went on to talk about a political example of how a politician had to just go for it and pass a law himself. And then finally, I talked about my favorite author, J.K. Rowling. So next time when you're faced with a difficult decision such as should you go to your 8 a.m. or pursue something that you truly love in your life, I hope you just do it.
Good, thank you. What was the time?
4:51.
4:51, very nice. What did you like? Armin 2. Yeah, you've been demoted. You've been demoted because of your absences.
I really enjoyed your intro. I think your intro gave a nice brief understanding to everybody of kind of like a preview of what you're going into, and you addressed every point that you brought up. And I also really enjoyed the variety of examples. It wasn't just stuff, things from your personal life. It was figures that we have heard of and we know of, like J.K. Rowling. So it's really nice.
Yeah. Improvement. We heard from today in class. You've been kind of quiet.
I just compliment. Oh, I think there's, but I'm Pauline.
Hi, Pauline.
I don't know. It was pretty good. I don't know if I could think of any. It was a really good speech. I don't have any negative.
I do.
Tag team.
Okay. Thank you, Pauline. Well, yeah, Simona, I really enjoyed your speech, and I enjoyed how much you used the quote repeatedly to really make it sing and zing, and we knew where you were and what your thesis was and how your supporting material related to just do it. And it helped, I think, that you didn't have this big, long, convoluted quote, so you could just spew it out. Just do it, you know. There's issues about whining and not taking the initiative and other things like that that sometimes come up in these when you don't feel like running and you don't feel like doing things, but then you just say you gotta do it. And so Nike's very successful campaign to make this happen. Your personal story, you were a roller skater or an ice skater?
What you see in the Olympics, but on wood.
On wood. Yeah. Oh, wood. Okay, a wood skater. Okay, great. Yeah, I had. Are you a comm major?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay. There's a comm major that there was an ice skater that from Argentina that ripped her ankle the day before going to the Olympics. That was one of her setback stories, where she had to regroup. So, anyway, it reminded me of your personal story of a setback, but she really had a setback. So anyway, I like the way you talked it through, prior convictions, lack of motivation, took the initiative, and I like the before and after, and you ended up doing very well, and so I just did it. And so that was very effective, and it was exciting to listen to and hear about. The political action story of JFK, gosh, Okay. Well, I'll just let it go. I think that Lyndon Johnson played a pretty big role in making this happen too, but Kennedy can take some of this credit, and so I'll just let that go. And I know that on this campus, let me be diplomatic. Originally, it did a lot of good. Do we still need it? Or has it been abused lately? Well, we could discuss that over coffee sometime, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to go into the effectiveness of the policy, but
Right.
just the example of someone.
Right, and you're showing he took the stand back then. That was good. On the J.K. Rowling story, yes, that story's been told. It's an exciting story, and the rejection of 21 publishers is a good story, and we're just one more. And, she's been tremendously successful, as you put it. She's made billions. But I think there's a more important story there than her monetary success, which is her personal success in believing in herself and just doing it and not giving up on herself. And she'll tell you, money's great, but, I also feel great. I did it. I just did it. Summary, conclusion, and tie back a little light, but you're running out of time, so that's cool. You did tie back to your class, so you got it done. Good job. No notes. Thank you. Okay, what's our time like? Oh, we're out of time. Okay, to be continued in the Comm Studies conference room. Is there anybody that didn't turn in their sticky exam, their self-evaluation, their public policy brief? Any late arrival is in that category.
These are notes from the scrimmage.
The notes from the scrimmage I will take now. Yes, thank you. Give me your notes from the scrimmage, O ye of little faith.
Professor Miller, I have extra credit from the Boxer Wackler presentation.
Okay, put that in a separate folder.
It's just the notes that we took during the
Yeah.
just like your notebook.
Yeah, right on, baby.
Can we email you our self-evaluation for today?
Yes, you can.
Thank you so much, sir.
I need to talk to you. When do you go to India or whatever?
I might not be going.
Oh, excellent. Good. I need to talk to you, so,
Should I wait?
No, just call me.
Is the conference room where that book reading was?
Yeah, book.
I'll show you where it is.
It's the first door on the right on the second floor across from the comm office.
Professor, are you done with the Sharpie or do you still need it?
No, I want to keep it. You want your Sharpie back. There's your Sharpie, ma'am. Thank you so much. That was
Hi,
really
Professor. I just wanted to say
sweet.
thank you for your class.
You're welcome.
Good
That's
time.
kind of you to say so.
Thank you, Professor.